Have you ever heard a sound in your dorm room late at night and tried to convince yourself it was just the building settling? That's what Tasha told herself. But she was wrong. This is one of 5 true college horror stories that will make you rethink ever staying on campus alone. These tales come from students just like you. And the scariest part is, they swear every word is true. Our first story comes from Peter, a sophomore who took a night security job at the university library. It was an old building, the kind with floors that creaked even when no one was there. One Tuesday night, around 2 a.m., he was doing his rounds in the archives. The air was thick with the smell of old paper and dust. As he walked down a narrow aisle, he heard a soft whisper. He froze. It sounded like a woman humming. He cried out, thinking maybe a student had fallen asleep somewhere. No answer. Just silence. He continued his patrol, his heart thumping a little faster. Then, he heard it again, closer this time. He rounded a corner and saw a book lying open on the floor. It was a 19th century poetry collection. As he bent down to pick it up, a cold gust of wind blew past him, and the heavy steel door at the end of the aisle slammed shut, plunging him into absolute darkness. He fumbled for his keys, his hands shaking, but the lock wouldn't turn. The humming started again, this time right behind him. Next, we have Emily's story. Emily was a freshman, excited to finally have her own dorm room after her roommate unexpectedly dropped out. The first few nights were peaceful, but then she started having the same nightmare every single night. In the dream, she would wake up to the feeling of someone sitting on the edge of her bed. She couldn't move, couldn't scream. She could only watch as a shadowy figure with long, tangled hair slowly leaned over her, its face just inches from hers. She would wake up gasping, her sheets soaked in sweat. She tried everything sleeping with the lights on, playing music, but the nightmare persisted. One morning, after another terrifying night, she noticed something new. On the dusty floor under her bed, there were 2 faint impressions, right where someone would have been sitting. She packed her bags and was gone by noon, never spending another night in that room. This third story is from a group of film students, Juliet, Ace, and 2 others who decided to shoot their final project in an abandoned theater on the edge of campus. The place had been closed for decades after a fire during a performance. Legends said the lead actress, a woman named Valerie, had perished. As they set up their cameras, the atmosphere felt heavy. Lights would flicker, and they'd hear faint applause from the empty auditorium. They tried to laugh it off as old wiring and drafts, but then, while reviewing footage, Asa noticed something. In the background of a shot, reflected in a dusty mirror on stage, was a woman in a vintage gown, watching Tem. Her face was pale, and her eyes were filled with a terrible sadness. They checked the original shot. No one was there. Spooked, they started packing up. As Juliet took down the last light stand, a single, mournful voice echoed from the stage, singing a haunting melody. They didn't wait to hear the end. They ran. They later learned the song was from the very play Valerie was performing the night she died. Our fourth story might be the most unsettling. It comes from a student who worked in the campus anatomy lab. Let's call him Mark. Part of his job was to prepare the cadavers for the next day's classes. He was used to the clinical, sterile environment. One late evening, he was alone, finishing his tasks. All the bodies were covered in white sheets on their respective tables. As he was about to leave, he heard a faint sigh. He stopped, listening. It was probably just the ventilation system, but then he heard it again, clearer. This time, a soft, breathy sound. It was coming from the far corner of the room. His blood ran cold. He slowly walked toward the sound, his footsteps echoing in the silent lab. He reached the last table and, with a trembling hand, lifted the corner of the sheet. The cadaver's eyes were wide open, staring directly at him. A single tear rolled down its waxy cheek. Mark swears he heard a whisper, a single word that has haunted him ever since. How? Our final story happened during fall break. Most students had gone home, leaving the campus eerily quiet. A resident advisor named Chloe was doing a final check of her dorm building. It was a sprawling, maze-like structure from the 70s. As she walked the empty halls of the 3rd floor, She noticed one door was slightly ajar, room 313. She knew for a fact that the student who lived there had gone home for the week. Thinking he'd just forgotten to lock it, she pushed the door open to secure it. The room was dark, but the moonlight from the window revealed a figure standing in the middle of the room, facing the wall. Its back was to her. "Hello?" Chloe called out, her voice shaky. "The dorms are closed for break." The figure didn't move. Chloe took a hesitant step inside, reaching for the light switch. As her fingers brushed against the wall, the figure slowly, mechanically, began to turn. It wasn't the student. It was something tall and gaunt, with limbs that seemed too long, its face a blank, featureless canvas. Before she could scream, it lunged forward, and the door slammed shut behind her, leaving the hallway empty once more. No one saw Chloe again until the students returned a week later. They found her in the hallway, curled up outside room 313, her hair stark white, unable to speak a single word. Thanks for watching. If you have a story of your own you'd like to share, drop it in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more dives into the darkness. Stay safe out there.